Hello everybody, this is a review of presentation of first round of iEquity. The elevator page iEquity is iEquity promotes networking transfers in real time. The, the round is divided in three parts: introduction, arguments in macroeconomic sense, and questions, the major questions of investors. First, equity role as catalyst for sustainable and accessible mergers acquisition global environment, especially in Brazil. Well, equity positions itself as a fintech catalyst for innovation and sustainable and accessible mergers and acquisition in Brazil. It's a platform that integrates transactions through Pix, credit cards, and the digital loyalty system provides support for video conferencing and digital contracts in the process and operates under carbon neutral content. The company's values proposition in addressing key bottlenecks in MEA marketing, such as higher transaction costs, limited integration, and low technological inclusion. The rapid expansion of Pix in Brazil with more million users and a trillion transactions monthly was created a robust digital infrastructure that equity to leverage to democratize access to MBA opportunities. And equity and the Bernanke-Gather framework in financial amplification credit risk. The Bernanke-Gather model of 1989 until 1995 with the extension of the financial accelerator mechanism is connection of macrofinancial theory. It explains how creditors markets imperfection amplify and propagate economic shocks. The central idea is that borrowers' financial health measured by their net worth directly influence the external financing premium that is the spread between the cost of raising funds externally and the opportunity cost of internet funds. The first point is a net worth effect and credit spread. In the Bernanke-Gather framework, entrepreneurs' net worth is a critical determinant of external financial costs. Higher net worth reduces perceived risk, with lowers the external financial premium or credit spread. By democratizing access to MEA and reduce transaction costs, equity enables a higher range of firms, including startups and SMEs, to participation in deals that can raise their market value and consequently their net worth. Unexpected increases in asset values, like software values in 3 millions in a transaction facilitated, can by equity can disproportionately boost entrepreneur net worth, especially when leveraged thereby reducing external finance premium for firms that not fully self-financed. The cost of external funding depends inversely on their equity share. by improving capital allocation and debt equity activities or structures. The equity platform directly impacts credit spreads. And two, reducing information asymmetry and default risk that creditors most incur cost of the example audits, bankruptcy procedures, and others others costs about it, addiction and the conference. And to verify borrowers through returns, this asymmetry raises external financing costs. AI to reduce such by providing by video conference tools into standardized digital contracts and integrated due diligence features as well as liberation to the transparency of PIX-based transaction. This mechanism lower agency costs, which are close to the core of financial frictions and to compress the external financing. The third part is managing risk and shocks. An empirical student highlights that risk shocks are primary drivers of movements in creditor spreads, adversely affecting investments and economic activity. While the MEA sector is sensitive to such shocks, the equity incorporates digitalization trends, including PIX adoption and startup acceleration in its VR based model for forecasting global MEA activity. The impulse response functions EFF, IFF suggest that positive shocks in PIX usage anticipated higher MEA volumes. This indicates that digital infrastructure and transaction agility core strength of equity can act buffers against brothers uh, risk shocks, sustainable capital flows, and economic activities. Conclusion. In this part, equity is more than just an MEA platform. It is a systematic agent that, by leveraging digitalization and reducing financial frictions, directly engages the mechanism described by Bernanke-Gatter model by strengthening firms' networks, reduce information asymmetries, and lowering default risk. The equity contributes to narrowing the external financing premium faced by uh, business bids to this is not only facilitates access to credit and investments, but also enhances markets' resilience to risk shocks, which ultimately fostering a positive financial acceleration for a broader ecosystem of startup and SMEs. Well, the contest and positioning equity emerges as a fintech reshaping the landscape of sustainable and accessible MEA in Brazil. By integration and instant payments, PIX, digital loyalty, and card-based transactions with video conference and digital contracts. The platform offers a unique to high cost, low integration, and limited technological inclusion that traditionally constrain MEA in emerging markets. So it's carbon neutral operation from inception and growing global investor interest. Example, the bridge funds in Abu Dhabi demonstrated the alignment of equity with both ESG, environmental, society, and governance imperatives, and internal capital flows. The next point is macroeconomic and sectorial relevance. Well, the Brazilian market provides fertile ground for for innovation. Over 150 million PIX others generation trillions in month transaction building the digital infrastructure that equity leverages. The global fintech market is expected to reach 332 billion by 2028, and CAGR of 20%, 3%. While MEA volumes in emerging markets are projected to expand through digitalization. Through the lens of the Bernanke-Gertler financial accelerator model, equity contributes to reducing the equity financial premium by increasing entrepreneur net worth through more accessible valuations and transactions. Reduction information this reducing information asymmetry with standardized digital diligence and hence and resilient to risk shocks. Um, Besides digital transaction agility and trust mechanism. Uh, Comparable to how PIX was transformed liquidity flows in Brazilian bank. The investor and oriented fundamentals, the fundamental key metrics of equity. The valuation of 3 trillions and 75 million and software of 3 million and more 20% of appreciation CAC per digital banking client, LTV of one one 1,250 and per loyal client in 2 years, and a burning rate of 222 and 96 per month. EBITDA in 2025 year projection is 12 and 500 reais in first period post expansion. The first section is investors and marketing questions and marketing questions. This valuation actually is 3 million and 75 of software more 40% anticipation. The first the first part is investor and marketing questions as well as the second the corporate and CM in SME-oriented question, and 3, sector and macro questions. And the last section is anticipate investor and corporate questions. So let's go to first question around the about the first round of iEquity. How does iEquity ensure scalability with such a lean operation? Wow, so with a burning rate of just 220 to 96 per month and CAC of 3 reals per client, iEquity demonstrated operational efficiency comparable to early stage fintech disruptors and 3,000 and a half POA projection in 5 years in grounded in low acquisition cost and strong LTV of 1,250 in 2 years. Well, the question 2. What validates the evaluation of 3,000 and 750 millions of reals? The valuation reflects a software asset already valued at 3 million. Traction with digital campaigns of CTA of 12 and 75% above the sector average and the market expansion potential. These fundamentals mirror early stage evaluations of fintechs that scaled rapidly with adoption curves similar peaks and Nubank. The question 3. What is the exit strategy for investors? The iEquity anticipates the strategic acquisition or expansion into larger fintech ecosystem. Given the global M&A wave in fintech exits could resemble regional players acquired by major banks or digital platforms seeking ESG-friendly solution. The second section, corporate and CSME-oriented question. Question 4. How can SMEs benefit from ME platform when deal were usually for larger players? So iEquity reduce transactions costs, integrate Pix and digital loyalty, enabling SME to participate in smaller scale MEA and partnerships. In the partnerships, this democratization mirror how Pix open instant payment solution not only to layouts banks, but also to micro business and the independent sellers. Question 5. How is trust ensured in digital MEA? Through videoconference, standardized digital contracts, and transparent transactions, reducing the need of costly audits aligned with costly state verification theory, similar to how Nubank built clients' trust through transparency and user-friendly design. iEquity creates reliability in MEA flows. Question 6. How fast are transactions compared to traditional process? Deals on equity operates in real time, leveraging fixed infrastructure, and while traditional MEA may take months for basic steps. Equity accelerates early stages, valuation, contract signing, and payments comparable to the instant liquidity and peaks provided to banking clients. Three section is sectorial and macro questions. Question 7. What is the macro financial impact of equity on capital allocation? By lowering the external financing premium and Bernanke and Carter model, equity enhances access to credit and investment, especially for leveraged firms. This improves resilience to shocks and strengthens entrepreneurial net worth, critical drivers of macro stability. Macro stability. Stability. Uh, This improves resilience to shocks and strengthens entrepreneurial net worth, critical drivers of macro stability. Question 8. How does the sustainability integrate into financial performance? Well, so each operation as a carbon neutral for inception, equity attracts ESG driven capital. The global ESG investment market assets more than $3 trillion, and investors increasingly favor fintechs with measurable environment and social impact. The question 9. How resilient is the platform to risk shocks and volatility? Empirical evidence show risk shocks drive creditors spread upwards by streamlining digital MA and equity mitigates the spread's amplification and sustains liquidity, and comparable to how PIX stabilized daily liquidity flows in the equity cushions MEA market against uncertainty. And question 10. How does equity compare to global benchmarks? Just as Nubank leveraging PIX adoption to scale from local banking disruption to global fintech recognition, equity leverages digital MA and ASG alignment to expand in emerging markets. The long-term strategy mirrors to the global scaling trajectory of South America fintech champions. And the last section, how anticipate investors and corporate actions. What anticipate investors and corporate actions? How does equity first? How does the equity differentiate itself from traditional MEA advisory firms? Unlike traditional firms with higher fixed costs and fragmented process, equity integrates payments, contracts, and communication, real time. This creates this integrates this creates cost efficient technology enabled transaction, mirroring the disruption peaks brought to Brazil retail payments compared to legacy banking. And two, what ensure user adoption in a competitive fintech landscapes? The combination of instant payments and digital loyalty programs lowers uh, barrier, uh, barriers for SMEs and startups to engage in M&A similar to the bank's success with PIX adoption, accelerate strong ease of use, and trust in digital infrastructure. Three, how do sustainability add tangible value for investors? The carbon neutrality attracts impact driving capital and positions equity within the ground trend of ESG investing, um, which globally channels trillions of dollars into sustainable financing. These features provides competitive edge in both local and international fundraising. Four, what is the resilience of the model in times of financial shocks or volatility? By reducing the external financial premium, equity improves firms' ability to access credit and investment during uncertain times. Digital platforms such as Nubank with Pix have demonstrated resilience by maintaining liquidity and client engagement even in periods of macroeconomic stress. Question five. What is the long-term growth potential? Well, it with projected annual growth rate about 13 and 75% in Brazil, driven by PIX adoption and fintech digitalization. In pitch deck on white squads, equity has the potential to scale regionally and globally. Expansion parallels the path taken by Brazilian fintech leaders that grew from um, niche, solutions to multinational players. Well, in this presentation, it's different like a real time. We don't have white squares, but uh, I will put in comments the link of pitch deck for investors or just send me a message for more um, more content. Well, was the first content of first round of equity and the and the next the next opportunity you send you send you again. Thank you.